For 15 weeks, teams have been dreaming of this night. Liberty earned their spot by knocking off three-time defending state champion St. Ed's with a dominating performance from the very first play. Moeller made big play after big play after big play against Centerville to get to this game. Only one team will have their dream come true. The title of state champion must be earned. Olentangy, Liberty, and Moeller for the Division I state championship next on Spectrum News 1. It's the perfect setting for a football game, the Division I state championship game in the shadows of the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Moeller taking on Liberty. Here's how they got here. Moeller defeated Centerville, finally getting through after being in the state semis 3 years in a row. They get through to the finals. Liberty gets to the state championship game for the first time in program history. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium. Along with my partner, Ryan Cavanaugh, I'm Dave Bacon. Ryan, Moeller, one of the Blue Bloods. If they win this state championship, they hit double figures with 10. They're back in the title game, though, for the first time since 2012 and 2013 when they went back-to-back. As we said, Liberty, new to this stage.
Yeah, well, Moeller certainly has one of the most rich histories in football and in state championships in Ohio. Liberty hopes to start their tradition here tonight. The only thing that matters, though, is who wins the game here and takes home the Division I state championship. Moeller comes in with an offense that averages 41 points a game, and Liberty prides itself on its defense. It's a best-on-best type game.
You talk about that Moeller offense. They have only been held under 28 points once all season long. It's the lone game that they lost. They get it done through the air. 2 receivers have 10 touchdown passes. 8 have 3 or more, and 10 receivers have at least a touchdown catch.
What I'm impressed with is the quarterback throws for over 4,000 yards, and they don't have a 1,000-yard receiver, which means they have a number of weapons. The quarterback spreads the football around, and that makes them very, very difficult to game plan against.
You look over at Liberty, it is a team that is well coached and very well balanced. They have their version of the triplets. Quarterback, Andrew Leonard. Running back, Jake Struck. Wide receiver, Christian Moulton. Balanced offense, well coached. And by the way, they play really good defense.
Yeah, well, the defense is going to have to step up. I love their front 6 and 7 and how they play against the run and how they pressure the quarterback. Leonard's going to do his thing. I think Jake Struck might be the best athlete we see on the field tonight. And Christian Moulton has over 1,200 yards receiving. I think those three have to have monster games to beat Moeller tonight.
Time to take a look at our Akron Children's Star to Watch. And we have 2 finalists for Mr. Football, the quarterbacks for each team.
Well, Matt Ponatotsky is Mr. Football, and he won that award with ridiculous numbers. Over 4,000 through the air, 56 touchdowns, only 3 interceptions. Those aren't career numbers. That's just 2024. And Andrew Leonard, his coaches were so effusive with the praise, not only about what he does physically on the football field, but the decision-making and what happens above the shoulders. We've got 2 excellent quarterbacks tangling here tonight.
And it is the perfect setting for the Division I state championship game. Can Moeller hit double figures in terms of state championships, or will Liberty get their first? Starting lineups and kickoffs straight ahead. Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium is ready for the Division I state football championship game. The Liberty Patriots take the field here at Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium. They are ready, trying to win their first ever state football championship. And the Moeller Crusaders, that high-powered offense, ready to go as well. Let's welcome in the third member of our broadcast team. Let's head down to the field and Mary Lee Melendez. Mary Lee?
Thanks, Dave. Great to be back with you, too, for the Division I state title game. There's still a little bit of ice in the perimeter of the field, but let me tell you, these guys have ice in their veins, and the fans have come pouring into Tom Benson, all bundled up and ready for this great matchup tonight. Now, for Olentangy Liberty, they may be the newbies to the state championship, but their style of play is old school. Now, Sports Illustrated described it as smash mouth football. Coach Sansbury laughed and told me that's not a term they use, but this team is physical, tough, and most importantly, they play together and tackle together, and that's the game plan tonight. For Moeller, the expectation is to win state championships. Coach Mathiani tells me they expect to play 16 games and win the last one. He also feels like they could have a leg up with how they're able to adapt. The Crusaders don't have their own stadium, so they play 10 regular season games in different stadiums. Coach tells me our guys are used to this environment. We don't make a big deal about it. We just show up and play. Dave?
All right, Mary Lee. Tonight's weather is presented by Green & Sons Farm and Lawn Equipment. 13-mile-an-hour winds, 26 degrees, cloudy, no snow, but it is cold and a little bit windy, without question. Everybody bundled up and ready to go. The Moeller student section that you see. A good look at the kickoff team for Moeller. Moeller won the toss and deferred, so they decided to go defense as opposed to that high-powered offense on the field. And heading back deep to receive the kick for Liberty, Grayson Davis. And getting set to tee it up and get this thing underway will be Alex Sherman.
Weather's just a little bit different than it was last night. There's one thing missing, and I can't remember what it is.
Well, you can see the yard lines in the field, so that I'll give you a clue. Tonight's kickoff is brought to you by Cincinnati Blue Ash College. Division I state championship game about to get underway. Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium. And it's a directional kick. And picking it up at the 19-yard line and getting out across the 25 was Grayson Davis. He was one of the upbacks. Quarterback is Andrew Leonard, 5'10", 188-pound senior. Has thrown for 2,915 yards, 36 touchdowns, just 5 interceptions. He can hurt you with his legs, too. Has run for 678 yards and 5 more touchdowns. Had a touchdown run and a touchdown pass last week in that 21-7 win over 3-time defending state champions St. Ed's. Spread formation, they kind of empty out the backfield. They will move Struck around, that high-powered, and there he is in motion, Jake Struck, and they get it out quickly, and it's complete. As it's Gino Sakach. Let's take a look at our starting lineups. Our starting lineups are brought to you by Akron Children's. Fewer season-ending injuries, more season-continuing care. Akron Children's Sports Health. Offensive line, 3 seniors and a sophomore. Moulton, the big play guy, Struck. They like to get the ball to him in space. And at 205, he's a load to bring down.
He's a tremendous athlete. 3 sport. He's the best player on the hockey team. He was named the best lacrosse player in the state last year, and he's committed to play lacrosse at Ohio State. He can play football in college, too. He's a tremendous player.
And they handed off to Leonard. They had Struck lined up as a Wildcat quarterback, which they will do, and they handed it off to Leonard. All right, our starting lineups again brought to you by Akron Children's. Here is the Moeller defense, and this line gets after it. Gerke, Sternberg, Harris. The linebackers are very active in tackle as well, and the back half can cover, and they come up and run support, and they'll hit you. A really good 3-3 stack defense for the Crusaders.
Sounds like they're checking a lot of boxes, Dave.
Yeah, they are. Well, you know, they've lost 1 game all year.
Yeah, yep.
And Leonard back at quarterback, and they empty it out again. 3rd down, out wide, it's complete, and it's a 1st down. A nice job getting it to Moulton, their big play guy.
That was a big-time throw. He's from the far hash. Look at him dropping it in on Moulton. And Moulton almost had a chance to hit the sideline and turn that up. That's a beautiful pass by Leonard. Roman Mason kind of tried to undercut the route, and he got it over him. And Roman Mason, their cornerback, a guy that has 5 interceptions on the year, didn't have a great angle there. It's 1st down out at the 40. Leonard in the shotgun. Quick little out to
Moulton again. And I like that. You get the ball in the hands of a 6 foot, 180-pound receiver who can make plays.
They're working the short game with Moulton. And while it's successful, they're also setting up a little hitch and go action. A little early for that, but I expect to see that at some point. You know, they've got him on an island out there, one-on-one. And Moulton, as I said, over 1,200 yards receiving on the season, 17 touchdowns. He can go.
2 wide receivers on each side. They motion Jake Struck back into the backfield, and they'll hand it to him. Struck bounces it outside. He's got room. Struck into Moeller territory. Jake Struck. I was really impressed with his patience last week, and we see it again here.
Well, what he does is he hides up behind his offensive lineman and then bounces it out. Great block by Leonard.
The quarterback, yeah.
Get him a couple extra yards. And Struck, like he always does, finishing the run.
Ball at the 42-yard line of the Crusaders. A couple of first downs on this initial possession for the Liberty Patriots. Same 2-by-2 formation. Leonard has room, cuts it upfield, bounces it outside, and gets down near the 35-yard line of Moeller. Our keys to the game are brought to you by your local Toyota dealers, where you'll find more all-wheel drive electrified choices than elsewhere. Toyota, let's go places. Take it away, Ryan.
Well, for Moeller, they need to spread the ball around. That's offensively. That's when they are at their best. And for Liberty, contain Mr. Football. We haven't seen him yet, but Matt Ponatoski is a special talent. So is this young man, Andrew Leonard. See how hard he ran into the defender there? That's not how quarterbacks typically finish runs when they're out in the open.
2nd and 4, they get it out quickly. It's picked off. Hung it a little bit, and it is intercepted. A nice job of going and getting it by Lincoln Murphy. Just hung up a little bit.
They had 2 receivers in the same area, and this is a nice play by Lincoln Murphy. So he came off of it, and I know when I saw that, I think Leonard thought Murphy was going to go with the slant. He peeled off. Maybe it was a disguised coverage. That's what it looked like to me. It's hard to know these things all the time. But either way, Lincoln Murphy, eyes on the quarterback. When the quarterback didn't have his eyes on him, and he undercuts it, picks it off. And Moeller with the first big play of this game.
And they are plus 18 in turnovers. That will win you a lot of football games. So now the offense with Matt Ponatoski as the quarterback. And need to get that 5th offensive lineman out there for the Crusaders.
Yeah, well, you're going to want to get him out there. It's Patrick O'Brien, only a sophomore, 6'5", 265.
So the turnover gives the Crusaders the ball at their 40-yard line. And out quickly, and it is complete to Javon Love. Matt Ponatoski, we mentioned he's Mr. Football. So he throws an interception every 125 pass attempts, and he has 56 touchdowns and over 4,000 yards. Yeah. That's pretty good.
I mean, I've thrown more interceptions in a game than he has in an entire season, Dave. I'm not bragging about that. I'm just stating some facts here.
2nd down and 5. Ponatoski, little dump off, and that time Love slips and goes down. He had some room, too. Starting lineups are brought to you by Akron Children's. And let's take a look at the Moeller starting lineup. 4 seniors on that offensive line. They're big, and they have given plenty of time for Ponatoski to throw the football, and he just spreads it all over the place. Fogler and Love have double-digit touchdowns, 16 for Fogler, 13 for Love. And Ponatoski now looking at a 3rd down and short. And hit, and he's not going to get it. Straight ahead running as they give it to Tyler, Jocelyn Tyler. And a nice tackle by Lincoln Gardner. Gardner, a guy that you're liking. Lincoln, Gardner, Stamp, and Cole, 3 of those linebackers all over the field. And the offense looks like it's staying on the field, 4th and 1. So a big play for the Liberty defense midway through this first quarter. They pitch it. He's not going to get it. It was Tyler again, and it was shut down. A nice job coming up in run support, and it was Tyler Thornton coming up and making the big hit. So they turn it over on downs. Got a good one going here in the first quarter. Liberty's defense comes up big, scoreless, the Division I title game. Midway through this first quarter, we are scoreless as Liberty, the defense, comes up with a big stop on 4th and 1. And want to remind you, still another day of OHSAA State Championship football tomorrow on Spectrum News 1, Spectrum News app. Division 6 kicks things off, 10:30. Kirtland taking on Coldwater. Coverage begins at 10:15 with OHSAA Championship game day. There will also be 2 more state finals tomorrow, 3 of them tomorrow, and this is the 3rd of today as well. 1st and 10 from just on Moeller's half of the field. Here's Struck, makes one man miss, and then bites forward and is pushed back short of the 45 of Moeller. Ryan, again, this is the 2nd week in a row I've seen Struck. He is a powerful guy who is also elusive. It's a really nice combination.
Yeah, he's an outstanding football player. And he hurts in a lot of ways. There's a lot of different things he brings to the table. He can catch the ball. He can run it. As you said, he'll play a little wildcat. But he's got a competitive nature to him.
Leonard, little pump fake, and he's got some room. A nice job of chasing him down after a short pickup. Is making the tackle for Moeller was Connor Cuzio.
It's good pressure. You see Christian Harris getting upfield, and Leonard goes for the stop and start move, but Cuzio is having none of it.
Still gets a couple, so he makes it 3rd and much more manageable. Ball at the 44-yard line. 3rd and 5. This time they go 3 wide receivers to the top of the screen. It's Davis in the backfield, and it's Struck that they hit on a little crossing route to the 30. And they line him up all over the place. Find Struck.
It's a beautiful job of this offensive line picking up the blitz. Moeller blitz the middle backer. Look at them take care of business, and you got one-on-one with Struck working on Lincoln Murphy. And it's a beautiful pass right on Struck. He's got over 800, coming up on 900 yards receiving, does Jake Struck.
800 yards rushing and an even distribution, 14 receiving touchdowns, 13 rushing touchdowns.
Yeah.
And they do move Jake Struck all over the formation. This is play action, and it's Struck again near the 25. Brian, the other thing this is doing is it's keeping that high-powered Moeller offense on the sidelines.
Yeah, it's keeping them out of rhythm, too. And I like that Liberty's coming. They're huddling and up. They're making sure they're doing what they want, being patient, and they're executing. It's a well-oiled machine offensively.
2nd down and 5 from the 31 of Moeller. Little bit of a low snap. Leonard looking for Struck again. He's got it. Struck near the goal line. Touchdown, Struck. What a job. He was covered, and Leonard put it right where he needed to be, and you see the strength of Struck.
Well, once he caught the football, there was no way he was going to be denied from getting into the end zone. The ball placement from Andrew Leonard is phenomenal. And this young man, Jake Struck, just does special things on the football field. The catch was excellent, the will to get in. And I think they're going to take a look at it to see if he actually got in.
It does appear that is the case.
We got Mike Dame in the booth.
Play of a touchdown is under further review.
We've got official Mike Dame in the booth. And Mike, take a look at this replay and tell us, is this a touchdown or is it going to get overturned?
Well, we're going to look to see where the ball is, where he hits the ground. And that's something that comes from upstairs. Again, all scoring plays are automatically looked at to be verified or that they want to take another look at. And this is...
Ooh.
That's close.
I want to see the angle right down the goal line to tell.
And again, the question is there enough to overturn it?
Correct.
Because the call on the field is a touchdown.
See, I don't know where the ball is when it lands, but
the tip of it, and he kind of moved it. He did a nice job of, he was trying to secure it.
this is the brain trust inside the review booth.
And remember, any part of the ball just has to touch the front part of the line. That's breaking the plane.
What are you thinking?
I agree with the call on the field until I get that look right down the goal line.
Yep, okay, fair enough.
And it's tough because he was really screened as well. Even if we get that, it might be the defender is laying in front of the ball as well.
Correct.
Coach Bert Bathiani this week was talking about this Liberty team, and he specifically said, look,
After review, it was determined that the runner was short of the goal line. It'll be first and goal, Liberty.
So it's first and goal from inside the one.
Coach Bert Bathiani was saying they beat St. Ed's 21-7. And there's not a whole lot of teams that can say that. He knew what he was up against in this state championship and how good of a football team Liberty was.
Struck is running the Wildcat. They do this when they get inside the 5 often. And Struck will take it, and touchdown, Jake Struck. So you delayed it a play, he still gets the touchdown.
Beautiful job by that offensive line, giving Struck the push he needs. And I think I figured it out, Dave. You just told us 13 rushing touchdowns, 14 receiving.
He wanted to rush it.
It would have been 2 off balanced if he caught a receiving. So they stop at the 1, he runs it in, 14-14, but most importantly, 6-0 Liberty with the chance to go up 7-0 on Moeller.
And on to attempt the point after is Sean Hendricks. And he knocks it through, so Liberty a 7-0 lead in complimentary football.
Struck just goes up over top, gets into the end zone, and all this offensive line needs to do is drive and push. And you see, slowly moving the white shirts back. Struck dives in between 2 of them, falls in the end zone, and that was an outstanding offensive drive for the Patriots.
After they stop him on a 4th and 1, they go 6 plays, 49 yards in just under 3 minutes to put the first points on the board. At Spectrum News, we're committed to strengthening the fabric of local communities through our reporting. With stories that inspire and news that matters on your smart TV and connected devices, streaming live 24/7. Plus on-demand weather forecasts. It's all there as you step outside with the Spectrum News mobile app, keeping you informed and in the know throughout your day. Spectrum News, your community connection exclusively for Spectrum customers, now available on your favorite devices. So now it will be Carson O'Mara kicking off. Again, both teams have different kickoff and point after and field goal kickers from the 14-yard line. And down across the 30, a pretty good return, as taking that was Carson Kao for Moeller. And good coverage. It looked like it was developing, and the Patriots able to close it down. So now Moeller's offense trying to answer.
And Tyler Thornton with a great open field tackle on that kick return for Liberty. And here comes Ponatoski.
Ball across the 30 at the 33-yard line. So Tyler is the back, and they fake it, and they get it out quickly to Fogler. Matt Fogler breaks a tackle and now is taken out of bounds. A nice job of wrapping by Luke Mulder, the safety, to make sure that it is just one defender he eludes.
Nice job to get isolated, and now you're just one-on-one in space. And Fogler wins this matchup over Antonio Kish.
Good look at Mr. Football, Matt Ponatoski. Little play action, rolls out, throws on the run, and incomplete. Penalty on the play. As there is a flag back in the backfield, normally in the area of like holding.
I think they're going to get Chuck Powell, number 78.
Holding. Offense, number 78. 10 yards from the previous spot. First down.
Yeah, Chuck is on the right there. And you see, when you get those hands outside the frame, and really when the guy starts running away, that's where you see the jersey. Chuck might have gotten away with it if he just let go a little bit earlier, or the hands are more inside. We're talking close grip bench, right? Not a wide grip bench. Get him inside. Refs can't see you holding. Not that offensive lineman hold, but I'm just saying there's ways to get away with it.
So the holding penalty will back the ball up back to the 37. It'll be first down and 20. Straight ahead and breaking tackles and fighting forward. Still on his feet. And near midfield, a nice run and a nice finish to the run by Jocelyn Tyler.
He got the penalty yardage +1 back. And that hair was tied up into a bun, and it's already become undone. But you can always find Jocelyn Tyler on the field because of the flowing locks.
Picked up 11, so it's now second down and 9. Stacking people in the backfield, and they get it out quickly. And a nice adjustment by Love. Flag on the play.
You know, I think they might have got the wide receiver coming out to hit the DB when the ball was in the air.
Our starting lineups are brought to you by Akron Children's. Fewer season-ending injuries, more season-continuing care. Akron Children's Sports Health. That linebacking core just gets after it. And on the back half, they have guys that will come up in run support in Kuhn and Mulder as well. It'll back them up. Again, a holding penalty, and it'll back them up to the 40.
Holding. Offense, number 88. 10 yards from the spot of the foul. Second down.
Okay, they got Sam Hamilton. Sam Hamilton is one of 2 Power 4 Division I scholarship level tight ends on this team. Cooper McCutcheon's the other one. They're both juniors. And the Cincinnati area has been pumping out really, really high-level tight ends in the last few years, and 2 of them are on the football field here this evening.
Ponatoski deflected. Good pressure, and getting his hand up and on it is Bailey Bird. That's the nose tackle, and he's created some problems already. One of the holding penalties was on him.
Yeah, Bird is not the heaviest guy, but look, he's not going to get home on Ponatoski, but he does get up. That's what you're supposed to do, get in the passing lane. And he's making life difficult for this Moeller offense right now. 6'2", but only 235. Shapker is only 210, and the big guy on the defensive front is Charlie Donahue. He's 255.
I know you're going to be surprised that they're all wrestlers, so they play leverage really well. Incomplete. Intended receiver was well covered as they were trying to get the ball to Love. Great coverage, so they force a 4th and 17 in a punting situation. There's the safety we were talking about, Luke Mulder. Good job in coverage.
One thing that stands out to me for Liberty, they have some fire, but when they make a play, like Bailey Bird knocking it down, they just act like that's what's supposed to be happening. Like, you know, it's not one of these where you're celebrating and jumping around with every little thing. They just go about their business in a workmanlike fashion.
A punt that's directional, and it will take a Moeller bounce, and it will be down at the 22-yard line. Let's head down to Marilee Melendez, and Liberty no strangers to championship sporting events. Miralee?
That's right, Dave, especially Jack Struck. I mean, he is just all over this field right now, and Coach Sansbury tells me he might be the best athlete he's coached in his 16 years here. Not only is he going to Ohio State to play lacrosse, he's the state player of the year. He won a hockey state championship his sophomore year and a lacrosse state championship his junior year. As you can see, they can put him anywhere. He says he'll do anything he can to win. And on that lacrosse team, also 10 players on this roster were also part of that state championship lacrosse team. Dave?
He's got some good lineage, too. His father played football at the University of Toledo. And
he can play. He can play.
He said it.
And there's a designed quarterback run, and Moeller ready and waiting for that. A nice job of staying home up front and making the tackles, Christian Harris.
So we went through the defensive front for Liberty. Moeller's a little bit different. I was joking with Coach Bathiani. I said, where is the press that you guys have to bring out defensive linemen? They're all 6'1", and they're all 275. Thomas Gerke, Lucas Sternberg, and Christian Harris. So this offensive line has their hands full with 3 275s across the board.
Second down and 10. Leonard, time, complete. There's room near midfield. Finally brought down as they get it to Christian Moulton. And he just beat the guy inside, and Leonard waited for him and delivered it perfectly in stride.
Roman Mason is locked up one-on-one. Andrew Leonard, his ability and poise to stay in the pocket, seeing a blitzing defender run right at him. You see the blitz there from Griffin Daly, number 4. And Andrew Leonard stays, hangs, and delivers a dime to Moulton.
Ball at the 49-yard line of the Patriots, moving it again and eating up that first quarter clock. We're inside of 45 in the first quarter.
Nice hit.
And stood up right at midfield. Might have gained a yard. That was Struck. You can hear by the popping of the pads, and I already knew that was Jake Struck running the football.
You know, Jacob Cravens was there, Christian Harris. So that's who Struck just ran into.
Inside of 20 seconds, and it looks like that will be the final play of this first quarter. And Liberty, welcome to the state championship stage as the Patriots. An impressive first quarter of play. They lead Moeller 7-0. And Jake Struck getting it done on the Wildcat to give Liberty the only points of the game so far. It's the Division I title game.
You're watching the OHSAA State Football Championships live from Canton on Spectrum News 1 and the Spectrum News app.
That is the Moeller Hall of Fame. It's named for the late legendary head football coach Jerry Faust. The school has been named national championships 5 times to go along with those 9 state championships. Ken Griffey Jr., Barry Larkin, Buddy Bell are also in the school's Hall of Fame, to name a few.
Pretty good company.
Yeah. And if you're a baseball player like Mac Ponatoski, it's a pretty good baseball program.
Sure.
To state the obvious. Well, right now it has been an impressive first quarter of football for Andrew Leonard. You see, 7 of 8, 86. Did throw the interception, but not rattled even a little bit by that.
Well, it helps that it didn't hurt them.
Yeah.
Defense stepped up and got the ball back.
Leonard complete. And a nice job of fighting forward by Ben Godwin. Godwin, one of their bigger wide receivers. He goes 6'3".
Yeah, Ben Godwin, more of a possession receiver in this offense, but he had a big game in the playoffs against Upper Arlington. Same with Gino Sakach. He's another possession receiver. He had the first catch of the game. He's one of the unsung heroes of this offense, and he had the game-winning touchdown against Upper Arlington. So we talk about Moeller's number of playmakers, but there's some dudes on Liberty that can hurt you.
They try to get it to Moulton. He goes up and grabs it, but out of bounds. And I think that time he saw the cornerback cheating up there, that's Roman Mason, and tried to make sure that Mason couldn't undercut that route, and that's why it was out of bounds, if you will, and off target a little bit.
Mason has 5 interceptions in 3 playoff games. He's come on, and Coach Bathiani feels that 14, Roman Mason might be their best defensive back, and that's why he's locked up with Christian Moulton.
So it'll bring up a punting situation as Moeller's defense holds. Sakach, pretty good directional kick. Fair catch called for. Dropped inside the 5, and he does get on it. Dangerous play as it was Carson Kao. And fortunately for the Crusaders, he was able to get on it after dropping that ball right at the 5-yard line. Heck of a punt.
It's a beautiful punt.
So we've talked about the passing game, and it's kind of truly as far as running for the Crusaders goes, it's a group effort. You know, Jocelyn leads the way with 758 touchdowns. You got Ware, Coach, Simmons. Together, you know, you put them all together, and it's a pretty complete running back core. And straight ahead and on cue, that was Ware, who will get 4 or 5 yards on first down and makes it second and more manageable. They've been second and third and long a lot, being Moeller.
Yeah, well, Tyler Jocelyn had all 3 of the carries up till now, and then mixing it up.
Pick up a 4, so it'll be second down and 8. Ball at the 9-yard line. Little toss as coming in motion was Adams, Landon Adams. Flag comes in. Another flag comes in. And it's going to be enough for the first down. Let's see what the penalty is. It's holding. So it's coming back. A lot of holding penalties early.
Yeah, it has not been the cleanest half of football.
Holding. Offense number 13. Half the distance to goal. Second half.
So that'll move the ball back inside the 5, and it will be second down and 11.
Javon Love is pleading his case. We're going to get a look at it. And he's right there in the slot. And
he threw him down, and he kind of had him behind. I think he had the one hand wrapped behind him. Ball at the 4, second and 11. Blitz coming, it's picked up, and they're running. And a good job of filling in and bringing down Ware as that 3-3 stack flows some of those guys from the secondary and the linebacking core to the outside run. Third and long, it'll be 3rd and 7. Second quarter. Little delay. Ware fighting forward. He's going to be short of the first down. They'll spot it at about the 13. So it'll be 4th and a yard and a half. And this early, I would assume you have to kick this.
well, this week, it looks like their punt team's out there, but we have seen last night went for it inside the 15 on 4th and 1. So, and Anderson goes for it almost every 4th down, no matter where they're at.
Short kick from the 40.
Struck. He's not going down.
He's still on his feet. Struck. 20 and brought down from behind inside the 20. What a return by Jake Struck. Does a little bit of everything. He returns punts.
But look how casual he looks. I mean, that was an amazing punt return. Look look at there's 5, 6 different Crusaders around Jake Struck.
Gets hit twice, but you got to hit him
And then
low.
he hits him with the stiff arm. And then he just gets up like, you know, no big deal. Just going from one class to the next.
He took 2 hits up in his shoulders and kind of shrugged him off.
They're going to say he struck him off.
Ball at the 16-yard line of Moeller after the punt return by Jake Struck. 3 wide receivers to the top. It's Moulton, lone receiver, to the bottom of the screen. And Leonard gonna run, and he has room inside the 10 near the first down marker, pushed out of bounds. It'll be just short of the first down, it looks like they're marking it.
I like the decision making. Leonard, no hesitation. Once he decided he was going to pull the football down and get busy, he does it. Brings up, yeah, 2nd and short. And everything is working offensively for the Patriots right now.
That's similar to the first touchdown he had against St. Ed's. Did the same thing, ran out the backside and was decisive with it.
They had Grayson Davis next to Leonard, and Struck is to the left of him in the slot.
Leonard gonna run it again. First down. Flag comes in from the back. Usually signals holding. Let's see. Yeah, preliminary signal is holding. That'll back it up some. And we have a Crusader banged up, slow to get up. That's Griffin Daly, the safety.
Offense number 66, 10 yards from the previous spot, 2nd down. Injury timeout.
We're going to step aside and take the timeout. 7-0. Liberty leading, 8:25 to go in the first half. Division I state championship game, Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium. A good look at Liberty. Let's head down to the field and Marilee Melendez.
Thanks, Dave. Yeah, for Olentangy Liberty, it's a family affair. Head coach John Sansbury, he hired his brother Chris Sansbury to be the defensive coordinator. He said he brought him on last year when he got that job. And the first year calling the defense, he kind of tricked him into doing it. His brother thought he wasn't ready, so he started giving him little tasks to do. Make the practice plan, lead the fundamentals, and then he had him call the scrimmage defense. And then he said, hey, week 1, I want you to try it out. So he kind of had to make him realize that you can learn the schematic stuff, but it's the way you lead these young men. The kids really love him. And their Uncle Bob also does the film up in the box. So they said their mom really loves coming to the games and supporting them as well.
All right, Marilee, appreciate it. And Sack, a nice job is getting to the quarterback and getting him down. Jonah Haynes, that is his 7th sack of the season. So now you're looking, it was going to be 1st and goal after the holding. Now you're looking at a 3rd and 14, 15.
Yeah, Lucas Sternenberg in there as well. There was a great job by Jonah Hayes. I expect Moeller to respond, because this is the 2nd time Liberty's driving down the field on them.
3rd and 14. Leonard. Time. Moulton has it. Touchdown, Liberty. Another great pass by Leonard. Hit Moulton right on the numbers, and he gets into the end zone for the touchdown. 13-0, point after coming.
Christian Moulton has gotten open on virtually every play. He's like 7-11. He's open all the time. And Leonard able to deliver the strike to him. And let me just keep rolling here. That offensive line has given Andrew Leonard all the time he needs to against an extremely tough defensive line for Moeller. And he's got time to see the field and get it to Moulton.
Point after is knocked through by Hendricks. It is 14-0 Liberty, and that is the 18th touchdown catch of the year for Christian Moulton.
You see, he knows where he wants to go. Andrew Leonard, before that snap, knew he's coming down to Moulton, and his eyes immediately go to the left, moving the safety, and then coming down in that one-on-one matchup with his go-to guy, Christian Moulton. Execution, outstanding.
37th touchdown pass of the year for Andrew Leonard. And you see it, you know, they're able to capitalize. They overcame a couple of penalties, a sack, and they're able to put it in the end zone. Those are kind of the little things that we talked about them being really good at and being really well coached. All right, chocolate milk has essential nutrients every athlete needs, not typically found in traditional sports drinks. Next time you grab a beverage, whether it's in the lunchroom or out on the field or at home, remember to rethink your drink and choose chocolate milk. Chocolate milk is the official beverage of the Ohio High School Athletic Association. That's Landon Adams back deep along with Carson Kao. And 14-0 Liberty with the lead here, almost midway through the second quarter. It's going to be KO, and we have a flag.
I think they offsides on the kicking team.
Looks like they will re-kick it.
Dead ball, encroachment, kicking team, number 20, 5 yards from the previous spot, re-kick.
We'll back it up to the 35.
That's the 5th penalty. A little bit early. Kind of surprised that doesn't happen more often.
Yeah. Yep. If your kicker changes up his approach, it's, you know, it's hard to time it.
Right.
And you want to be going full speed. It's not like you want to be able, you can't jog when you're in kick coverage. So O'Mara will kick it away. KO from, actually it's going to be Adams from just inside the 20, and he'll be knocked down right across the 30. So Moeller has, they've been kind of short-circuited. Turned it over on downs, really good defensive play. Punt. And really it's been penalties that have kind of put him behind the sticks. On all of the first one wasn't. The next two have been penalties that put him behind the sticks.
Only 12 plays. We are 7 minutes remaining in the first half. Olentangy not able to get it going yet. We talk about his numbers. Well under the pace right now.
Delivers and incomplete. Tyler was open and he just rushed it a little bit as he was trying to get it to the back. Jocelyn Tyler out of the backfield.
Yeah, he had a couple people open, and Jocelyn was one of them. There's a guy in the flat as well. Olentangy, he's just missing.
Second and 10. Complete. Oh, and knocked out. A nice play defensively is coming up and knocking that ball out was Tyler Thornton. We've called his name a couple of times.
Yeah, that's a really nice pass by Olentangy. Zips it right in there and just punched it away. You know, Javon Love has the ball, and as he's looking to secure it and bring it into his body, just gets punched away. Nice play by Thornton.
So now a third down. Olentangy pressured, and they set it up. It's to the tight end, McCutcheon, and a nice open field tackle. Tyler Thornton again. And well short of the first down.
Yeah, Thornton is 5'8", 153 pounds. And he just brought down the 6'5", 225 Cooper McCutcheon in the open field. And look at the frustration with Cooper, because he knew we had it drawn up the way we wanted it. I just needed to get out of that tackle, but
what a tackle.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how big the tree is. You chop it down real low and it's going to fall over. That was a great open field tackle.
4th and 5 in a punting situation. And they're going to fake it and throw it. And it's well covered and incomplete. Liberty defender there, and it'll go over on downs, and Liberty will have it inside the 40-yard line of Moeller as Liberty was ready for it.
Yeah, Landon Hershey was all over. And take a look. So this is not the normal punter. And Hershey is right there next to Fogler.
It's the backup quarterback, Grant Emery, who they snuck in there, and he throws it, and it's incomplete. But they were aware of it.
Yeah, well, I mean, he might have snuck it in on me, but not. They didn't get Hershey. He was in perfect position.
Ball at the just inside the 36-yard line of Moeller. Liberty trying to open it up here. Struck, and Moeller's front 6 pushes back. Pickup of just a yard.
Nice job by that defensive front.
So the road to Canton is brought to you by Carol Wirtz Tire and Auto Service since 1952. And you see it's been a really good defensive performance for the Patriots.
Yeah, well, they're continuing it here. They blanked Moeller through quarter and a half.
2nd down and 9. Ball sits right at the 35. 3 wide receivers to the bottom. And Leonard keeps it. Flags everywhere. This one's coming back. He does have the first down, but there was flags from the back judge and flags from the opposite side of the field too.
You know, talking with, we'll get the call here.
Holding. Offense number 61, 10 yards from the previous spot. 2nd down.
So Coach John Stansberry this week talking about his quarterback, Andrew Leonard, compared him to a lot of NFL guys, but one of them, he said his playmaking is like Baker Mayfield. And across the sideline, Bert Bathiani, when talking about him, said he plays like Baker Mayfield. So the coaches here, it's unanimous that Andrew Leonard has a little bit of Baker Mayfield, and we saw it on that play.
Trying to set up the little screen, and it is snuffed out by Moeller's defense, and it will be incomplete in 3rd and long.
Yeah,
I think it's because he's wearing number 6.
Maybe. I think it was the Jonah Hayes there, the 6'6" guy who knocked it down, Dave.
Road to Canton brought to you by Carol Wirtz Tires again, and you see Moeller high scoring. A couple of pretty good teams there in Princeton and Xavier, and then Centerville as well.
Yep. Moeller's undefeated in the state of Ohio. 1 loss on the road at Mallard Creek. They're down in Charlotte, North Carolina.
3rd and long. Leonard breaks the contain. Just throws it away. Pretty good decision by Leonard. No one was open, and rather than put the ball in harm's way.
So Jonah Hayes again, there he is, number 10. He reminds me, who was the safety for Moeller that now plays defensive line for the Bengals?
Sam Hubbard.
Sam Hubbard. He reminds me of Hubbard a lot because for his size, he moves so well. And Hayes is going to Northwestern to play football. His brother, Julian, currently plays in Virginia.
Another one of the directional kicks, and this is a good one. It goes into the end zone, and a nice job by the return man, Carson Kao, to kind of draw the coverage team away from where the ball was so that it goes into the end zone. But still, long field. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line. We mentioned during the open, Moeller's one of the blue bloods. I mean, those 9 state championships are 3rd, state championships appearances 14th is 3rd, playoff wins 67 is 10th, appearances tied for 1st at 40. And a nice job as they give it straight ahead to Jocelyn. And Tyler Jocelyn gets 8-9 on 1st down. That'll do wonders for an offense.
I'm looking for this offensive line of Moeller to start warming up, feeling their groove and pushing people around. All 5 of these guys started last year and this year. Last year they rotated 8 offensive linemen, 2 of them left, so they've got about 6 starting offensive linemen.
They get it out quickly. Ponatoski, it's a first down. His breaking tackles was Adams. Flag comes in. Looks like it's probably going to be a late hit.
Sure. Oh, yeah. I mean, he was clearly out of bounds, and now they're talking about it. No, I don't think in a very friendly way. But that was Landon Adams. You know, maybe I should ask Mike Dean this. Watch at the end. Here's the flag, and I want to know, why do officials, like, all they have to do is drop the flag? And yet, the height on the flag toss was incredible. We didn't get it in the camera. It was about 10 feet in the air.
I'll interject after the announcement.
Dead ball, personal foul. Number 8 of the defense. 15 yards, first down.
A lot of it, because everybody in the stadium is aware that there's a penalty, and that's our way of saying, yeah, we got it. And we try to hit the light tower sometimes.
Yeah, well, you almost did. I mean, this was incredible height on the flag toss. I think it was eye level with me. And we're pretty high up here in Tom Benson Stadium.
Some are better than others at it.
Is that some of your practice?
Ball at the 49 of Liberty, and they get it to Jocelyn again. This time picks up a couple. Good job of swarming to the football by the Patriots.
The first catch for Tyler Jocelyn. 4 carries already, so he's been a big part of this offense.
And a couple of first downs strung together and taking advantage of a penalty instead of having one work against you for the Moeller offense. There's Jocelyn, cuts it upfield. He's got a hole inside the 35 down near the 30. That was a big old hole for Jocelyn to run through.
Well, Mateo Armenta, number 79, look at him pull through. Watch this block. Boom. Jocelyn fouls right behind him. Armento, 6'2", 302. Big fella pulling and getting out. Second level on a linebacker.
Ball at the 33-yard line. Ponatoski, pressure. Cole chasing him all over the place and incomplete. Nice job coming back to the football by Fogler, but incomplete. It was actually Shapker who got after him as well from his end spot.
This is a really interesting chase battle going on there. Wondering where Ponatoski was going to end up. He just kept working backwards.
Ends up as an incomplete pass. Second down and 10 for the Moeller offense. Trying to cut into this 14-point Liberty lead. There's a little play action. Ponatoski cuts it upfield. This one's coming back. Flag comes in as he gets to the 30. Great job getting penetration by the Liberty front six.
They're coming after him. Another hold. I think the trivia question, wait for the official announcement here.
Holding. Offense number 79. 10 yards from the previous spot. Second down.
So, you know, we have a trivia question for the finals this year, every game, and it might end up being appropriate if they say, what was the most holding calls in a state championship?
Well, there it is, and it's on Shepker again. Shepker kind of got around and they hooked him.
I mean, that's got to be 5 holding calls that we've had.
Second down and 20. Jocelyn.
Nice work.
Falls out. Liberty has it at the 25 or 35. Ball popped out, and coming up with the recovery is Kuhn. Carter Kuhn. And that's the same guy that had the interception on the first play of the game against St. Ed's last week.
It's a really nice run by Tyler Jocelyn, and then he just drops the football.
So a turnover for Liberty. And there's Kuhn getting on top of it, and Moeller kind of on top of him to protect him so nobody can take it away.
Carter Kuhn had an interception last week against St. Ed. Did you say that?
Yeah. Oh. Glad you're listening to me, buddy.
I just heard. Oh, that's great. What'd you say?
Ball of the 35 and flags in a false start. Yeah, he's the guy that had the interception on the first play of the game against
Dead ball. False start. Number 10 of the offense. 5 yards. First down.
So back to the 30-yard line. I spoke too soon, too. I said how Moeller had cleaned up the penalties, holding penalty and a turnover. So now it'll be a first down and 15 back at the 30 for Liberty.
And Mike Dame has helped us out. We've had 6 holding calls. We've still got 2 minutes and 52 seconds left in the first half. I'm not hoping there's more. I'm just saying there's still some time.
They empty out the backfield and another flag. False start.
Dead ball. False start. Number 1 of the offense. 5 yards. First down.
So now it'll be first down and 20. So they have a little H-back, likely to help with protection. Struck inside receiver top of the screen. And they get it to him on a little out. He breaks the tackle. 40, still on his feet. First down, midfield, still going. And inside the 45-yard line of Moeller.
A walking highlight.
Yeah.
Jake Struck. And look at, watch the end of this run, Dave. I mean, there's so many things you could say he does well here, but watch the end of the run as he's twisting. He almost gives a forearm at the very end, pushing the defender off of him. Look at the strength.
Yeah, again, this is a guy that's...
Watch this forearm. Look at that. Just get off of me.
He's 205 pounds, and they get the ball to him, and it's a little bit of a mismatch on a smaller defensive back.
Yeah.
He's tough to tackle in space. Ball at the 44-yard line of Moeller, Liberty. Quickly, and it's complete as it's Gino Sakac. Let's check in with Marilee Melendez. She's going to be talking about Andrew Leonard, quarterback for Liberty.
Yeah, Dave, Mr. Football finalist, and Coach Stansbury tells me that he is one of the hardest working players on the team. He's tough, he's selfless, and all year long he jokes, "You want me to play some defense? You want me to play some outside linebacker?" Coach says, no, we're good, Andrew. We like you where you are, right at quarterback. He says he deserves all of his success. No one deserves it more because of all of the work he's done.
Complete again to Sakac again, and it's another first down. You saw the numbers. An outstanding first half of football for Andrew Leonard. He did throw the interception early, but unfazed, has come back and is really just delivering the football on time, on target.
Very efficient.
First down, ball at the 30-yard line of Moeller. And this time it's going to be a running play as it's Davis. Grayson Davis, and a good pickup. Check that. They snuck in Antonio Kish into the backfield.
Timeout. Olentangy Liberty.
So Liberty
Their
calls
first charge.
a timeout.
Timeout and a half.
So go back to Andrew Leonard, 12 of 16 for that young man, 156. A touchdown and that interception you mentioned, but he has been very good.
And you see the season numbers to date coming in. So you put those together, it's 3,600 yards, 41 touchdowns.
Yep.
And he is a threat with his legs.
Now over 3,000 yards on the season. But the quarterbacks in this game have over 7,000 yards passing this year.
Coming up at halftime, Brett Hildreth and Michael Robinson will break down the first half, plus the latest news and weather with Curtis Jackson and Tyler Seabury. Merle Melendez will also visit with Doug Ute, the OHSAA Executive Director. Coming up, 59 seconds of game time away, the halftime report.
A lot for the Liberty cheerleaders to cheer about in this first half.
You know, Kish, that's only the 32nd carry of the season. And it was like, wow, he's got through there pretty quickly.
Yeah, it looked good.
So 3 wide receivers to the bottom of the screen. And again, it's Struck innermost of those 3. Little wheel route for Struck, incomplete. And a nice job reacting by the safety. The help over the top came with Lincoln Murphy.
Yeah, and if that ball was in play, I think Lincoln Murphy would have intercepted it.
Pretty good job by Leonard. It was either going to be caught by his guy or nobody was going to, or you're going to need a ticket to catch it.
Yeah, I was going to say, there's somebody pretty deep in the stands that almost caught it.
So it's a 3rd down and 3 now. Ball called the 23. They need to get just inside the 20 for a first down.
Moeller stacking, and they get through.
Leonard, patient, and he's close to the first down. Will depend on the spot. Looks like it's going to be 4th.
Moeller just put a player in every gap, and number 99, Thomas Gerke, came through. Nice play by Jacob Cravens. And I wouldn't be surprised if Coach Stansberry.
Olentangy Liberty. Their second charge. Timeout at half.
They asked him to look at this spot because I think this was closer to the first down.
The one thing I don't know when his knee, you know, he kind of stumbled a little bit, so I don't know if his knee fell down. But I kind of thought the same thing. I thought it was and inches as opposed to, you know, it's almost a full yard here.
Take a look at this and see exactly where Leonard, and if we're able to ascertain where he went down.
Yeah, his knee, I think the back knee went down a little bit.
Yeah, that's a good call.
Before. It's a pretty good spot. So the question becomes, what do? It's 4th and 1 from the 20. Wind is behind you. If you see the flag on the upright, it is sticking out behind it, so you're not into the wind. Looks like the offense coming back onto the field. Well, maybe not. Oh, they got Struck coming back. Struck is lining up as the Wildcat quarterback, and he's going to keep it. That's going to be close. That's going to, again, depend on the spot. Moeller comes out with the ball. There has been no call of being down. Moeller taking the ball down the sidelines and doing the job. And into the end zone for the touchdown for Moeller. Cooper Gerhardt. So Cooper Gerhardt comes up with the fumble recovery and takes it back the other way.
Let's see what happened here. So Struck's just going to bully his way, and they knocked the football out.
Yep, and there's
as
Cooper
he was
Gerhardt.
reaching. So the important thing is he's still reaching forward with the football, and that's why it's going to be a fumble. As he's reaching forward, it gets punched out.
The previous play of a fumble recovered for a touchdown is under further review.
And because it's a turnover, it is an automatic review. So, Mike Dame, what do you see here?
I see the ball carrier still trying to gain positive yards. Therefore, forward progress has not stopped. If he had it tucked and it was going down and this happens, then the play's dead. But he is actively reaching forward and he gets swatted away.
So a huge, potentially game-changing play defensively by the Crusaders.
Cooper Gerhardt was just in the right place at the right time. That ball was laying on the ground, picked it up and took it the other way. But momentum to me is a big deal in high school sports. And Moeller has a chance here, assuming this play stands. We're going to find out.
At the review, the ruling on the field stands as called. Touchdown.
And with that play standing and the touchdown, they have a chance here to cut this lead in half and take the momentum in the locker room when it looked like Liberty was about to push this lead even more than 14-0.
It's a nice job by Lincoln Murphy. He was one of the guys that was there on top, kind of knocking at the ball and hitting it out. And now point after to try to cut it to 7. Snap and set are good. Point after is good. So it is in fact 14-7. Liberty leading Moeller.
Moeller deferred too, so they might get the old Bill Belichick score at the end of the half, get the ball to begin the next one.
Our community is incredibly dynamic and diverse in many ways, so is our weather. That's why at Spectrum News 1 we make sure you have accurate information to help you plan your day every day. We know how weather can change quickly. When it does, we're here tracking it all so you know what to expect next. Watch Spectrum News 1 weather experts on your TV and on the go with the Spectrum News app, exclusively on Spectrum. Heck of a job by Cooper Gerhardt. 80-yard fumble recovery that he returns for a touchdown.
Just changed the complexion of the football game in one play.
Well, you're thinking, are they going to pick it up? Can it be 21-0 and like that?
Yeah, and it looked like
14-7
with him extending the football struck. It looked like he got the first down yardage. It's academic though.
From the 13, knocked down short of the 30-yard line is Antonio Kish. So it will be 1st and 10. From the 28 is where they will spot it. 18 seconds remaining in the half.
See what they have one timeout, 18 seconds. Interesting this they let Leonard throw the football and see what happens. And they're going something like a victory formation, so I don't think they're going to do that.
And as you mentioned, Moeller will get the ball to start the 3rd quarter of play. And they do take a knee. And the first half clock will expire. But, you know, if you're Liberty, if somebody said at the beginning of the game, hey, you're going to be leading 14-7 at halftime, you take that every time.
Yeah. Anybody would be happy to be up, you know, going into the half here. And again, I think Coach Stansbury, though, has some work ahead of him just to get his guys mentally back from that final play there and say, hey, we got another half of football. Go back out there and do what you did for, 23 and a half minutes.
Right. Let's check in with Marilee Melendez, and she is with Liberty head coach John Stansbury. Marilee?
Coach, up a score here at the half, but a big momentum shift there heading into the locker room. How do you approach the second half?
Just keep playing the way we've been playing. Obviously, that was a mistake, but we're going to move on from it. Offense is moving the ball well. Defense is playing great. We just got to keep playing Liberty football.
Yeah, some big plays from Jake Strug and Andrew Leonard. How much are you going to rely on them and their versatility?
Like we've done all year, right? 21 and 3, and then a bunch of other guys are making catches too. So we're going to need everybody. It's a really good team, really good defense.
Right. Best of luck in the second half. Thanks.
Thank you.
All right, so John Stansbury's Liberty Patriots leading at halftime 7-0. Moeller will get the football to start the 3rd. 14-7 our score, the Division I game at half. Welcome back to Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium. 14-7 is the score. Liberty leading Moeller along with Ryan Cavanaugh. I'm Dave Bacon. First half highlights are presented by Skyline Chili. Nothing goes with good high school football like Skyline Chili. Feeling good, it's Skyline time. And a heck of a job by Andrew Leonard. Completes it to Moulton. This time he finds Struck. Rolls over, not quite in. They did score a play later on a Struck run. This is a Leonard run, also has 20 yards rushing. And Leonard, a nice job in the first half. 12 of 17, 156 yards. This touchdown to Christian Moulton. And it was 14-0, a 4th and 1. They go for it, Struck on the Wildcat, and the ball scoots out, and Cooper Gerhardt scoops it and scores with under 30 seconds remaining to make it 14-7. First half stats are brought to you by Cincinnati State Community College. What jumps out to you, Ryan Cavanaugh?
Well, first of all, Liberty's outgaining them by over 100 yards. And when you look at Moeller, there's some very uncharacteristic things there. Only 39 yards passing for a team that has thrown for over 4,000 yards in 15 games. And then, of course, you cannot ignore the turnovers, the second one being the most costly for Liberty. And Moeller jumping right back into it.
Let's head down to the field and check in with Marilee Melendez. She has Coach Bathiani from Moeller.
Locker room, and now you get the ball to start the third quarter. What's the game plan, and how do you keep that momentum going?
We just got to get in rhythm on offense. Hopefully we can get something going in this second half right here. We really haven't been able to do a whole lot of stuff. We've shot ourselves in the foot with bad execution, bad field possession, and penalties. So we just got to calm down, do our thing, get this thing down the field, and then try to tie this game up.
Well, you've seen some explosiveness and really a lot of versatility, especially with the use of Jake Struck. How do you stop this Olentangy offense?
We just got to get back to our fundamentals and tackling. He's running really hard. We knew he was a great player. We got to do our job, play with leverage, and then attack in numbers.
Thanks a lot, Coach. Best of luck.
And Moeller will get the football to start this second half. Tonight's second half kickoff will be brought to you by Roosters, a fun, casual joint. As Ryan, if you're Coach Bathiani, you haven't played well, you're down 7.
Well, this first half wasn't a fun, casual joint for Coach Bathiani, I can tell you that. And but you're right. You have to be happy with the fact that you're getting the football. You're only down 7 points. And maybe some of the paint got peeled off in the locker room with the talk that he had with the boys saying we need to get back to playing Crusader football.
And again, you know, that play right before the half, the fumble and the scoop and score really turned it around. Again, the second half kickoff brought to you by Roosters, fun casual joint. And teeing it up to kick it away is O'Maro for Liberty. And trying to get better field position for the Crusaders is back deep. It will be Landon Adams, Carson Ko. Adams bobbles it, but gets it at the 5. Coverage is really good, and he's going to be thrown back at the 10-yard line. Let's welcome in a guy that has been NFL head coach, offensive coordinator, and played on this very field in high school. Let's welcome in Josh McDaniels. Josh.
It's great to be here with you guys. It's really good to be back in Canton, Ohio.
Yeah.
This is home for me, and anytime I have an opportunity to come back, and certainly this weekend is special. It's always special to the people in Canton and from Canton, and I'm excited to be here.
1st and 10 from the 13-yard line, and they give it to Dante Ware, and a nice run on first down. Gets out across the 20.
Josh, what are your thoughts on that first half and how everything went down?
I was excited to see the two quarterbacks, knowing how heralded they have been and the type of years that they had. I read up and was told a little bit about both of them, and I was really impressed with Olentangy Liberty's execution and the way they were able to move the ball in the first half. And Moeller certainly needed that turnover at the end of the second quarter to kind of keep things squared up here. And I'm excited to see if Mr. Football can kind of turn it on here in the second half and put on a show and see what we get here for the finish.
Where gets the first down as they move the chains. What pops into your mind when you walk back onto this field? I covered you when you were in high school, and your brother.
Yep. It's pretty interesting to be back here. When I played, it was grass. So there's things that have changed, certainly. I mean, I still consider it and call it Fawcett Stadium, which is what the old name was. And those of us that grew up, in the 80s and 90s here, that's what we refer to it as. But it's such a near and dear place to my family and my brother and my father and a lot of my friends and family that still live here. So, I grew up literally 4 minutes to my right and spent a lot of nights here, both as a little boy watching my dad coach Canton McKinley, and then obviously having an opportunity to play for him when I got to high school.
2nd down and 10 for the Crusaders. And pressure again, and a nice job to get rid of it by Ponatoski. They're talking about, I don't think there's going to be a flag. You had some pretty good high school football teams.
Yep.
How does that rank? You've gone on to be wildly successful. How does that rank in terms of your football accomplishments?
Yeah, my memories from my years growing up and playing in high school football and in the city of Canton and for Canton McKinley for my father are at the top. I mean, really, I've had great fortune to be around some really good programs and at some great places. But, when you grew up in Canton and you're kind of in the shadow of the Hall of Fame, you grew up in the shadow of the Hall of Fame like we did. Getting to play in this stadium and create all the memories that we created here, they'll always be very special to us.
Tyler Thornton again gets his hand in and just rips the ball out. He has had himself a state championship game.
This kid is putting on a show. Again, he's 5'8", 153, and he's making plays all over the field. He's coming up and hitting, and that's the second time he's stripped a ball, and this is the second time they faked a punt.
And this time he's got a lot of room to run, and it's going to be a first down. He takes a big hit, but a heck of a job to pick up that first down. And again, it's Grant Emery, the backup quarterback.
And it's Tyler Thornton who puts the hit on him. Look at number 12. First of all, he's running with his back to the football. That is a huge hit. But what a run by Emery.
And you see, the junior took a big hit, got the first down.
He's trying to readjust his gear.
That's a huge play to extend the drive, though.
Absolutely. You like what they've done with the stadium? That's a tough one, right?
No. I'm kind of old school in that regard. Look, I'll always love this place, regardless of the way they, outfitted and what it looks like. But I'm used to stands in both end zones being a lot bigger than they are, and certainly I understand what they did over here. So, look, they've, if you want to call it modernized it or what have you, I understand the reasoning for all of it, but it was an awesome place to play and grow up and do things, in when we were young, and those of us who did it remember it very fondly.
Before we let you go, Josh, I got one story I got to tell after this play.
There's Ware trying
Nice
to
stretch.
get inside, and a nice job of closing as he turned up and ends up getting 3-4 yards.
So this might be his favorite memories, but Josh does have 6 Super Bowl rings. How many does Nick have?
I think he has the same number.
Okay, so Nick Casario, myself, and Josh McDaniels were all quarterbacks at the same time at John Carroll.
Yep.
And I like to tell people,
One of those things isn't like the other.
well, but wait a minute. Combined, we've got 12 Super Bowl rings.
That's right, we do.
It doesn't matter who has them.
I'm still saying one of those things just ain't like the other.
We do. No.
I'm okay with that.
Hey, you got a great life. You got a great life, buddy. I know that.
It's all good, man.
I know that.
3rd down and 7 for the Crusaders. Nice job by Ponatoski. He's going to pick up the first down. He's got more room. Ponatoski slides in at the 35. Just a great decision.
Yeah, and he's not known to be a runner, but once he broke outside and realized there was a bunch of green space, he took advantage of it. And they're looking for any sort of spark like that offensively.
Yeah, there's nothing downfield.
And usually you see that when they're in man coverage.
Yeah.
Because the defensive backs are chasing and they're not looking at the quarterback. And that's
Officials timeout.
So, Josh, we don't want to keep you. We appreciate it. Thanks for stopping in.
Thank
Josh
you.
McDaniel.
I appreciate you guys.
Awesome.
You guys do a great job.
Thanks,
Enjoy the
Josh.
weekend. It's great to be back in Canton.
Yeah, welcome home, man. You enjoy it too.
Thank you. Will do.
Again, we appreciate Josh McDaniel stopping by and spending a few minutes with us. Super Bowl. It's 12 Super Bowl rings. I like
12,
that.
yeah, you like that,
I
right?
like that. I like your math.
Oh, boy. Let's just say I don't have a safe at home.
And a nice play defensively. They get it out in space, and a nice job of closing. It's Carter Kuhn, who had the fumble recovery for Liberty, who makes the nice open field tackle, loss of a yard.
Ponatoski.
Got it out there and tried to get the Vogler in space. They're trying to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers.
Yeah, Liberty's anticipating these plays very well. They're getting right up on top of them.
2nd down and 11. There's Ware. And he is cut down in the backfield again. 3rd long. And it's Charlie Donahue. And when you make a play like that, you're allowed to flex.
Well, if I had arms the size of Charlie Donahue, I might flex a little more often. But what a play defensively. Just getting in the backfield, playing down the line of scrimmage. And it's been a little bit of a bend, don't break type defense for Liberty. Every time Moeller starts getting some momentum, as they are right now, somebody from Liberty steps up and makes a big defensive play.
3rd down and 12. Out quickly, complete. And a nice move down the sidelines. And into the secondary. The ball comes loose as Love fumbles it. And recovering it for Liberty is Lincoln Gardner, the linebacker. Great move by Love, but they stripped the ball, and Lincoln Gardner comes up with a fumble recovery.
That was an outstanding, for the whole play until the fumble was outstanding for Moeller. It was a great shot by Ponatoski, and then Love makes several people miss, and the ball's going to get punched out. Big time turnover.
Huge play again by the Liberty defense as we head to our timeout. 7:22 to go in the 3rd. Lincoln Gardner, right place at the right time. Liberty's defense holds.
The OHSAA State Championships on Spectrum News 1. The rights to this broadcast have been granted by the OHSAA. Any rebroadcast or republication of the programming without the written consent of Spectrum News and the OHSAA is strictly prohibited.
14-7, our score, 7:22 to go in the 3rd. Tonight's trivia is brought to you by Jake Sweeney Chrysler Jeep Ram Dodge, home of the best price guaranteed. So the question is, who was the last Mr. Football in Ohio to win a state championship in the same season?
The last Mr. Football. All right. Give me a minute.
Yeah,
To win.
it's Mr. Football and state championship in the same season.
So, I don't know. Menor didn't win with Trubisky, did they?
No, Menor hasn't won. So a nice run is struck, bounces it outside, slips a tackle, and gets across the 35.
And I think Joe Burrow lost in the state championship.
Yep.
Okay, just give me. No, Lamar Sperling, I think, lost. I'm going to go with Evan Prater.
That might be right.
Evan Prater. Cincinnati, Wyoming.
Sounds good to me. All right, they'll reveal it. We will reveal this after the next play. You know, Struck is a 205-pound guy with some agility. And now a wide open down the field. It's Moulton behind the defense, and Moulton into the end zone. What a throw by Leonard to Moulton. That pushes it back to a 14-point lead. He hit him right in stride.
Moulton has, again, been open whenever he wants.
So you're saying you want the 7/11 instead of 3 for his number?
That should be. He should be able to have 7-11 as his number. Look at that move. It's a beautiful route. Leonard puts it right where it belongs. And that's a walk into the end zone touchdown for Moulton.
Second touchdown reception of the game for Christian Moulton. 19 on the season now. Snap a little high, the set is good. The kick is good, and it is in fact 21-7 Liberty. And Andrew Leonard just having himself a state championship game.
He doesn't have a whole lot of room to step into that ball either. So it's a mostly arm throw, and still the accuracy is on point, dropping a dime in the bucket for Moulton.
Andrew Leonard, 13 of 18, 217 yards and 2 touchdowns to that guy, Christian Moulton, as Andrew Leonard having himself a day. 2 plays, 83 yards, 17 seconds, 61-yard touchdown for Moulton. Oh, there it is, Dante Booker.
Dante Booker, and I called that state championship game. It was against Belleville, and in that game, for fans at home, Dante Booker was committed to go to Ohio State. During the game, Paris Campbell had 2 or 3 really long touchdowns. Urban Meyer was on the sidelines, and he walked away with a commitment from Dante Booker and Paris Campbell. Paris Campbell ended up going to Ohio State and then on to the Indianapolis Colts and having quite an NFL season, but he earned that scholarship in the state championship game.
Short kickoff and a nice job grabbing it on the run as Adams will get past midfield and into Liberty territory as Landon Adams gives Moeller great field position and quite frankly something they need. They need to get that offense rolling. Their only 7 points came on defense.
The 7 points came on defense, and if you look at the biggest plays they've had, obviously the fumble recovery, but then the fake punt, and now a special teams kick return. So Liberty's defense has largely held Moeller in check. They've held him off the board, but their bend but don't break opportunistic defense creating turnovers has all but shut down this Moeller offense.
And you see there, 9 of 18, 60 yards is also run for that 19 yards. And you know Moeller has big plays in him. Let's see if they can find a way to come up with one. Timeout by the Crusaders.
Timeout. Moeller. Their first charge. Timeout at a half.
The Ohio Department of Public Transportation reminds you that it's okay to use your phone during a sporting event, but you should never use your phone behind the wheel. If an officer sees the violation, they can pull you over. Fines now start at $150. So phones down, it's the law.
So Coach Dave, one of the cool stories about Coach Bathiani and Moeller is one of the core values of the program is competition. And he says they go best on best, they're ones against ones twice a week. And on Monday it's called P and 10, standing for possession and 10, because he said the possession is different than a first down. The possession is the first time you get the ball. Possession and 10, if you get a first down, the defense has to do up downs and the offense talks smack to them while they do it. And on Tuesday, it's Bloody Tuesday. It's a goal line drill, same thing. If you get in the end zone or not, each team does up downs, and the coaches do the up downs with the losing team. And I think the coaches talk smack if they win.
Ware gets around the corner and a pretty good pickup. Let's head down to the field. Marilee Melendez, more on some of the Moeller traditions and rituals.
Yeah, they have a pretty unique pregame routine as well, guys. So they pray at the statue of Mary in the courtyard at their school before every game, and then they get on the bus and they say 4 Hail Marys at that statue for the 4 captains. And then when they get back, they say 4 Hail Marys again, and then they sing the school's alma mater to the brothers that live up at top of their school. And the brothers make sure they flip the lights on so they know that they heard them.
Very cool.
Absolutely. All right, holding penalty. So ball is now back at the 45-yard line.
Wait, a holding penalty?
Kind of. We haven't seen that much. Ponatoski, time to throw underneath. It's complete. Flag comes in. This one's coming back. As that was, again, complete to Adams, Landon Adams. It's another holding penalty.
It's 8 for those counting at home.
Holding. Offense number 67. 10 yards from the previous spot. First down.
So we've seen more of Dante Ware in this second half, and right there's the holding penalty.
Yeah, the takedown.
And again, anytime they've put together a couple of big plays, it seems like there's a penalty that short circuits it and puts them behind the sticks.
That's it. They just can't keep the continuity and the positive energy going. There's always something that short circuits it.
And Jocelyn picks up a couple, but they were looking at a 1st and 30. The playbook is pretty thin at 1st and 30. So the ball will be at the 38-yard line now.
Yeah, right here. I mean, fortunately, it's second down, and they only need 27 yards, but they've got a lot of work ahead of them.
Ponatoski has all kinds of time. He's going to step up and throw, incomplete. They've done a good job of kind of moving. Even when he's had time, they've found a way to make him move, and he hasn't been able to get set and deliver the football like he wants to.
Yeah, he's been under duress for the majority of this game when he's decided to throw the football.
Sped up, I guess, would be the best way to describe it. Almost midway through this third quarter. And this Liberty defense has played outstanding. Underneath, complete. Brought down short of the first down, the big tight end, Cooper McCutcheon. Again, a good tackle. 3rd and long. I'm sorry, 4th down. It's well short of the first down, so it'll bring up a punting situation.
Well, the usual punter, Javon Love, is in the game, not Grant Emery.
So it's probably an indication they're going to punt. Well, I think they were hoping for better. Off the side of his foot, and they'll get it near midfield. Tonight's Fan Cam is presented by Clark County Public Library. Discover Clark County Public Library, providing information for all of Ohio. And the fans are bundled up because it's chilly.
I love a good fan cam.
So Liberty, again, after the ball off the side of the punter's foot, has the ball at the 44-yard line near midfield. Already 21-7 lead. And Struck lines up next to Leonard.
It's time for Moeller's defense to stand up.
There's Struck. Oh, gets tripped up before he could get going.
Struck's uniform comes, the shoulder pads come out of the uniform at an unusually alarming rate. It's just about the 5th time someone has put his shoulder pads back in.
That's contact. So Andrew Leonard, we talked about it. He continues to have himself a game. 13 of 18, 217 yards, 2 touchdowns, an interception. Has also run the ball 6 times for 17 yards, and has made some really good decisions relative to throwing the ball away. That interception happened really early in the game, ball that he kind of floated. There he steps up and runs again. He's going to get he slides before the first down. And you know what? I don't mind that. I don't want my quarterback who's playing so well to take a huge hit and not be able to finish the game.
Yeah, well, Coach Sansbury this week said that he loves the intelligence of Andrew Leonard. Says his leadership, his attitude reminds him of Tom Brady. See, the playmaker like Baker Mayfield looked like him a little bit there. He can throw with different arm slots like Patrick Mahomes. And very humble guy. He watches more film than anybody on the team, and he's set the standard for what Liberty football is all about.
3rd and 1, out quickly. Moulton has it. He's got a first down.
Really nice play construction and execution. They used Godwin to come up on Roman Mason. Look at that. All he needs is a little block. Quick, get the football out to Christian Moulton. Godwin with a little block, and you get that first down yardage.
Inside of 4 in this 3rd quarter. Fresh set of downs as they pick up the first. And they'll put Struck inside receiver, top of the screen. Grayson Davis carrying the football, and he'll pick up 3 or 4. It's Antonio Kish again. They keep sneaking him in there on me. So down to the 40-yard line, to pick up a 3 or 4. The reason that's so effective is the defense naturally wants to know where Struck is. And they're running him to the opposite side of the field, so it's almost like they're breaking a tendency by doing that. Kish remains in the backfield.
I mean, no, but I think you turn your foot off.
Leonard looking for Moulton. He goes up and gets it. What a catch! And he grabs it and gets to the 15. Ball was delivered high. Moulton a little hang time and great hands, and he picks up the first down. 1st and 10 from the 15.
There is a lot of evidence being shown tonight as to why Christian Moulton has had the best receiving year of any wide receiver in school history. And this level of athleticism, competitiveness, he's also the starting point guard on the basketball team. He's outstanding.
2:35 and counting in the 3rd. Kish fighting forward. He'll get inside the 15. Second down and 9.
You know, they go the old school huddle here, and you got, you know, the offensive lineman, you put your hands on your knees, but the last thing you want after you've been blocking is the running back leaning on you like Kish is right there. You know, I mean, usually the linemen should be leaning on the running backs for all the work the linemen are doing, not the other way around.
Moulton bottom of the screen. Leonard, little reverse pivot. He's got some room. Moeller close and throws. Open Moulton, touchdown! The question is, did he pass the line of scrimmage? But what a job to throw that on the run by Leonard and find Moulton. Everybody converged on him because he was going to run. Flag comes out. So it'll be interesting to see.
Sideline warning.
Looks like the touchdown has been allowed. Let's see.
Result of the play is a touchdown.
Here you go.
Sideline warning. Olentangy Liberty. Their only sideline warning of the game. Sideline warning. Moeller. Their only sideline warning of the game. We'll have a try.
So part of his body was behind the 15 line of scrimmage, was the 15. He threw it, so it was a complete pass. The ball was behind the 15-yard line, and that's the reason the pass counts. It's a heck of a job by Leonard. Point after, knocked through. 28-7 is now the score, and you know Leonard, the Moeller defense, like me, thought he was going to run the football.
I mean, what's most impressive about this play is he saw the blitz, Connor Kuzo, 36, coming unabated from his backside, and then he sets him up.
Oh yeah, he's behind.
And turns around.
Yeah, that wasn't even close. He's a couple yards behind the 15, but to have the presence of mind, I mean, Moulton was wide open because everybody was converging on him.
Yep. He's a phenomenal athlete. Andrew Leonard, his command of the game, his field awareness, his ability to extend and make plays like he did right there is the reason, one of the many reasons why he was a finalist for Mr. Football.
So Leonard now 16 to 21, 260 yards, 3 touchdowns. All of those touchdowns have gone to Christian Moulton. And Moulton now has 8 catches, 161 yards, and 3 touchdowns. KO from the 4. Out to the 30. KO has some more room, and he'll be knocked down across the 40 at the 42. So, Ryan, you kind of touched on just how good this defense has been. We might have undersold it a little bit.
Well, look, you're holding teams to a touchdown, and tonight they've held teams to 0.
Right. It was a defensive score for Moeller. And that's a really high-powered offense.
Oh, Moeller is averaging 41 points a game.
Ponatoski underneath, big hit as he delivers it to Jocelyn, and Jocelyn knocked down by that linebacker Austin Stamp closing.
Austin Stamp is the leader of this defense, and he's very intelligent. The coaches put so much on his plate, they'll call a blitz, and Austin Stamp on the field decides who blitzes of the linebacking crew.
All kinds of pressure on Ponatoski that time, and incomplete pass trying to get it to Adams.
But I've never heard of that. I've never heard where you call a blitz and then a high school linebacker looks at the formation and says, hey, you're going. And to add to that story, if he gets a formation that they've looked at that week in film, and he'll call the blitz off himself. So he truly is the quarterback of the defense with the ability to audible.
3rd and 4. Ponatoski gets it out.
Big time collision.
Short of the first down, too. A nice job as it was complete to Jocelyn out there trying to get him out in space, and Liberty able to tackle in space.
It's just collision here. Nice check down. Good catch by Jocelyn. Man, he was on train tracks.
They snap it quickly and they don't get it. They go for it on 4th down, and Liberty's defense holds again as they turn it over on downs, as Shapker comes up and is the first man there. Tell me if you've heard that story before. Liberty's defense holds on 4th down and turns it over on downs.
You're right. We might have undersold this defense. Look at that, just flowing to the ball.
Moeller is now 1 of 4 converting 4th downs. It's another way you win state championships. Here's the key to this game, Ryan. Moeller's 1 of 9 on 3rd downs, 1 of 4 on 4th downs. They cannot stay on the field with this defense.
I'm good up here. I don't need to. I don't even think I have eligibility, but if I did, I'm good up here. I'm not playing this defense.
Struck spins free. Struck still on his feet, and what a run to the 35-yard line by Jake Struck.
I want to see this again. I think he just pirouetted. Well, he's definitely spun, but there wasn't even anybody on him to spin. He just spun.
Well, the guy was coming into the hole. He spun out of the hole where the safety was filling.
I think he's just having fun out there.
We'll go with that. That'll be the final play of the 3rd quarter. Liberty in their first state championship game in program history. A 28-7 lead as the Patriots, playing really well, they lead Moeller as we head to the 4th. It's the Division I state championship game, and have yourself a game, Christian Moulton. This is his 3rd touchdown catch of the state championship game.
The 2024 OHSAA State Football Championships are an exclusive presentation of Spectrum News.
the Columbus Zoo right down the road from Liberty High School in Olentangy, a suburb of Columbus. Let's head down to the field. Mary Lee Melendez. Take it away, Mary Lee.
And legendary Moeller head coach Jerry Faust passed away this season. Faust led the school to 5 state championships. Here's what he had to say to the Crusaders before the game in 1980.
Thank you. You'll remember this game because it is going to be the thrill of your life. And by golly, when you're 40 and 50 years old, you'll look back at this day and remember with pride and remember with joy, because there's no doubt in my mind that Moeller will be state champ again.
Hear that passion in his voice. They would go on to beat Massillon, and it would be Faust's last game as head coach after 18 years before being hired as the head coach at Notre Dame. Dave?
Yeah, it hasn't happened very many times where someone goes from high school coach to like big-time Power 5, one of the top programs in the country. But it happened with Jerry Faust.
Right, and in today's day and age, it's almost
right.
It's like virtually impossible. Like you look at Lance Leopold, who took the Buffalo job, and he was at a Division III school in Wisconsin, and they thought that was an outrageous jump.
Right.
But the reality is, coaches who know ball can coach at just about any level. If you know how to coach, there's some coaches in high school in Ohio that could be coaching in the NFL right now. No question about it.
Struck trying to get the corner, and he is chased down. And first coach of Moeller football, and was from 62 to 80. He said the state championships, and he was inducted into the National High School Football Hall of Fame.
I mean, why did we have to wait till 2024
yeah, that's a good
for
question.
Jerry Faust to be inducted into a man?
And he won, you know, that was in the era where 4 teams from each division made, you know, the playoffs.
So it was more difficult.
Right. It was much more difficult, without question.
Man, he's getting the London Fletcher treatment. Oh my
big
goodness.
Hit. And the thing is, coming up to make the hit was Lincoln Murphy on Kish, and Kish didn't really go anywhere.
Wow.
He took the hit.
This was a big-time hit. Oh, yeah, Lincoln Murphy.
But he didn't go down. He needed. There's 4 other guys that came in and helped him clean him up.
Yeah.
So you know, points to Antonio Kish taking the hit and staying on his feet. 3rd down and 7. Ball at the 30-yard line of Moeller, and the clock becoming a factor without question. Leonard taking a shot, incomplete.
Wow, and that's a dangerous throw.
Yeah, Roman Mason did a good job playing off for the other receiver.
Well, it's a combination you often see where you have a short, it's a smash, so you got a short route, and then you run a flag behind it. But the quarterback's eyes have to be on the guy covering the short one, because he comes underneath it.
Yeah.
And Roman Mason almost got there to intercept that pass. And Leonard could have put, listen, I'm not going to critique Andrew Leonard and how he's throwing the football tonight, but he put a little more air on it. It keeps the ball safer, and it gives your receiver a chance to run underneath it.
4th and 7, offense stays on the field for Liberty. Leonard. Oh, goes down, big hit. As crashing in was Christian Harris. That is his 9th sack of the season.
Christian Harris was the defensive lineman of the year in the GCL. And this is really impressive stuff. They run a stunt up front, and both Harris and Jonah Hayes meet at Leonard. And Leonard was looking at Jonah Hayes and figuring out how to get away from the guy coming in from his front side. And as he turned around, Christian Harris, blind side, laid the boom and picked up the sack on Andrew Leonard.
Ball goes over on downs. Moeller's defense comes up with a stop. They take over at the 38. Under 10.5 left, in need of points. Ponatoski gets free. Ponatoski looking deep, broke on the ball, incomplete. Heck of a play. That's Kish, who we've seen at running back. Another one of the defensive backs, and he broke on that pretty nicely. it's tough to get anything on because he really couldn't get his feet set and couldn't turn his shoulders.
Yeah. It's tough. I mean, it has been tough sledding for Matt Ponatoski. And there has just been, he's been under duress.
Ponatoski again forced to scramble, trying to find somebody and run down. A nice job by Ryan Shapker. Again, those ends. Big dude that can run. He's 5'11", 210. Well, and we've talked about the defensive liberty, and this just kind of adds to it. I mean, they haven't been able to do much offensively, and this is an offense that averages better than 41 points a game.
Well, you look at that. Their two most successful drives was for 45 yards and 70.
And a nice job by Ponatoski, and it's incomplete.
Oh, jeez.
KO, the intended receiver. Oh, they're going to give him, the flag came in late.
They're going to call him a defenseless player per Mike Dame. I'll give him credit for this one. But hey, that was a tough hit.
Yeah. And again, he had no idea that the defender was coming. He had no idea where he was.
No, Lincoln Garner.
So on a play like this, as a defender, we're taught as officials, here's the announcement.
Hit against a defenseless receiver, number 4 of the defense. 15 yards, first down.
So the defender's allowed to play the ball or use open hands or wrap him up.
Officials timeout.
Lowering your shoulder when he doesn't have possession of the football there, that's a pretty cut and dry foul.
And it was Carson Ko, who got up and was able to walk off under his own power.
I am very happy to see that.
15-yard penalty, so the ball moves into Liberty territory at the 47-yard line.
Well, this is moving time for Moeller if they're going to get back in this game.
Ponatoski, little pump fake, still on his feet. Then is collecting Liberty defenders at the 30. Good job. He picks up 15 yards. First and 10 from the 30. Ponatoski, good defensive play. Underneath, that's Cole, Cameron Cole. Intended receiver, the tight end, Cooper McCutcheon. Second and 10. Ball at the 30-yard line again. Two wide receivers on each side of the formation. Ponatoski steps up, and he is going to be brought down. Donahue, Charlie Donahue, crashing in from the edge, gets the sack.
Liberty is playing so well defensively. Look at Donahue pressing upfield, working on Marty Atkins, and then spins as Ponatoski steps up into the pocket, spins right into him and brings him down. That upfield pressure is what caused Ponatoski to slide up into the pocket. Very athletic move to bring him down.
3rd and 12. Ponatoski with time, complete. Inside the 15-yard line, it's a first down, and it's the tight end, Cooper McCutcheon again.
Good ball by Ponatoski. Oh, it was a nice route combination. Kind of put Landon Hershey in conflict. He wasn't sure who to take.
Underneath, complete to Ware. Stepped out of bounds. Short gain. Well, the other thing this is doing, 8:10 remaining in the 4th quarter, and it's still a 3-score lead right now. So again, don't give up anything behind you if you're Liberty. Ball at the 12.
Got the back.
Underneath. Dives forward, close to the first down, as that's KO, the guy who was shaken up, back at it and on the field. That's good to see.
Tyler Thornton with another tackle.
It'll be a first down, first and goal.
Thornton now has 8 tackles in the game from his cornerback position.
Ware in as the running back. Ponatoski forced to throw. Great pressure.
And Pontoski is having some words with Lincoln Garner. I said Thornton had 8 tackles. Lincoln Garner has 9 to lead the Patriots. He's had a whale of a game. Across the sideline, Moeller, Christian Harris with 8 to lead the Crusaders.
Second and goal from the 3. Ponatoski pressured again over the middle. Complete. Touchdown. And it's Landon Adams who grabs it.
Really nice play. Ponatoski moving away again. They brought a late blitz. Keeps his eyes downfield. Finds his receiver. And Moeller's hanging around. 7.5 minutes. They've got 2 timeouts. They had to burn one early in the second quarter.
Point after. Knocks it through, so it is now a 14-point deficit. 28-14. We're going to step aside, take a quick timeout. 7:36 remaining as Adams grabs it from Ponatoski. 28-14 our score. Tonight's game summary is brought to you by Jake Sweeney Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram, home of the best guaranteed prices. And you see Moeller scored that touchdown right before the end of the half, and Liberty answered with 14 straight in that third quarter. That has enabled them to kind of regain that 14-point lead. It'll be interesting to see. Getting to the point where you might think about an onside kick. Still 7.5 left, down 14. We'll see. Certainly, Liberty's thinking that way.
Sure.
Good look at Coach Mathiani. The Patriots expecting Moeller to potentially onside kick it, as they got the hands team in. The deep man is only at the 20. And it will be put out of bounds. I don't know if he was trying to directionally put that in the corner, or if he just mishit it. Well, you know, Ryan, Christian Moulton has had himself a night in addition to Leonard Moulton. 8 catches, 161 yards, and 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, he figures out how to find a way to get open. He's made some very athletic catches, and of course, this was the big one, the 61-yarder. 3 touchdowns, and he has put on a show for the fans in Canton, Ohio.
Got behind the defense against St. Ed's last week, too. You know, and I get it. They've got a lot of weapons that can beat you, but, man, I want to know where number 3 is if I'm playing defense. First and 10 from the 35. Straight ahead. Antonio Kish, the ball carrier. Or, I'm sorry, Struck, the ball carrier. Picked up a couple.
Yeah.
It's unfair. I expect 6-7 yards when he carries the ball.
I know, he's totally slacking right now. No, this, I'm joking. This, there should be number 21 jerseys sold in Olentangy for the performance of Jake Struck. And he hasn't gotten a lot of run in the second half. Fairly quiet, but when he gets the ball, he almost always makes an impact.
They're Struck. Trying to strip the ball are the Crusaders. So now 3rd down and long.
3rd and long. There you see Thomas Gerke, number 99, waving to the Moeller fans, imploring them to get on their feet and bring some energy.
Almost midway through this 3rd quarter.
And some people are responding.
Sorry. Yeah, no, I get it. Big play here. If Liberty can pick up the 1st down, they get it to eat into that 4th quarter clock even more.
Dead ball, false start. Number 55 of the offense. 5 yards, 3rd down.
Bailey Bird, the defensive end who knocked down a pass earlier, playing right tackle for Coach John Sansbury and the Liberty Patriots.
So now you're looking at 3rd down and 10. And the one thing, obviously you want to pick up the 1st down. You can't turn the ball over.
We just mentioned Bailey Bird. This is rare, but he plays more snaps during the game than anyone on the team. He's popped his knee out a couple times this year, and the Coach Stansbury, he's just cowboyed up, and he's still out there.
1st down as Leonard delivers a strike right on the numbers. And it is a 1st down, and it was to Struck.
Heats it up a little bit here. That is a laser shot.
There you go. Leonard says that's a 1st down.
Well, that's what they needed for Liberty, because they know right now there's 2 opponents, or more appropriately, there's 2 opponents for Moeller. It's getting Liberty off the field and also controlling the clock. And with the 1st down, Liberty cancels the plans for both of those, but I think Coach Sansbury is going to take a timeout.
5:35 remaining in the 4th. Let's head down to the field.
Liberty.
And Mary Lee Melendez.
The 1st charge.
Thanks, Dave. Yeah, I'm over on the Olentangy Liberty side right now, and they're fired up to have this lead over Moeller, but they're trying to warm up their bodies right now when they're not on the field. They brought in these heaters because it is so cold, and there's still snow all over the ground. As you can see, there's a cluster of them right now, but at one point I counted up to 14 players huddled together trying to get warm, but let's just say they're enjoying the view right now.
That's smart. It's a veteran move.
Oh, absolutely. There's some potential downsides with that too, though.
Okay, what is it?
Well, once I was working sidelines, and I was talking to a player, and I was standing by the heater, and I looked down, and my gloves were on fire. I literally lit my glove on fire because the heater was so hot.
If you see something, say something, and we will do something about it. To report any school safety concerns, call or text the anonymous Safer Ohio School tip line at 844-723-3764. That's 844-SAFER-OH, 844-SAFER-OH. Do not let Ryan Cavanaugh do that, because he is not safe by heaters.
No, that would not be safe.
Ball at the 47-yard line, and again 5:35. So Liberty the ability to eat more of this clock, and
nice play coming off the edge.
And Leonard just gets tackled.
That's big Thomas Gerke coming off the edge.
Loss of a yard. Back to the 46. inside of 5 minutes now. 14-point lead for Liberty. And again, they're not going to snap the ball till the play clock gets inside 5. It does. Struck. Spins free. Struck. Still going. Struck. Breaking tackles. Picks up a first down near the 35-yard line of Moeller.
Take a look at all the different weapons he uses here. Spins. Maybe just doing a little hand fighting there. Stepping out. What a run by Jake Struck. He only has 13 carries on the evening. And you just wonder if he got 25. You know, if there was an offense where they needed him to carry it 25 times,
well, he does
how
have,
successful would he be?
He has 4 catches for 74 yards too. So they move him all over the place. First down. Struck. Maybe a yard, but right now, as important as the down and distance, we're inside of 4 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter.
Cuzo in on the tackle. I'd like to know what that conversation was about.
Well, Struck now over 80 yards, 84 yards. Yeah, you add that to the 74 receiving. He's up over 150. Moulton, 160. And we've already told you what Leonard has done throwing the football. And Leonard, keep it that time.
And Leonard is 28 yards shy of 300. I don't think he's going to get there because I don't think that man is going to dial up any passing plays. But I've been wrong before. But Dave, at the top of the broadcast,
Timeout. Moeller.
So Moeller will use
their second charge.
Their second time.
Clock keeper, please set the game clock to 3:09. Thank you.
Coach Bathian trying to will his players to give him some more of that juice and energy. But you said at the top of the broadcast, for Liberty, they needed to rely on their big three. And they not only have relied on them, but those three gentlemen have delivered in fine fashion, all three of them. Moulton, Christian Moulton, Jake Struck, and Andrew Leonard. Any one of those guys could be the player of the game if Liberty's able to hang on.
Well, tomorrow another full day of state championship action here on Spectrum News 1, Spectrum News app. Get started the Division 6 matchup, Kirtland and Coldwater, 10:30 a.m. Then coming up, middle game, Ironton and Liberty Center tomorrow at 3 o'clock. And then state championship weekends closes out with the Division 4 tilt between Perkins and Indian Valley. Tomorrow night, 7:30, right here on Spectrum News 1, your home for state championship football. And right now, it's 3rd down and 7. 3:09 remaining in this fourth quarter. And pushed back short of the 30-yard line is Struck. And it looks like Moeller will use their final timeout.
Moeller, their third and final charge. Timeout and a half.
Tonight's play of the game is brought to you by Express Pro Tire and Auto. Service you deserve, professionals you trust. And Christian Moulton gets behind the defense, and Leonard hits him in stride.
Beautiful pass. Christian Moulton having a night in the state championship.
Well, Coach Sansbury has been on Steve Hale's staff, and Steve Hale kind of built this program. Also played for him. Said he's still involved as much a part of this success as anybody. And Steve Hale somewhere is smiling widely at the way the Patriots have played tonight.
Steve Hale and John Sansbury are the only two coaches in the history of Liberty High School. And Sansbury was a member of the 2005 graduating class, which was the first graduating class of the school.
And he got him to jump off sides. One more thing that Andrew Leonard has done.
Defense, number 97, 5 yards. Results in a first down.
So a first down.
That's a disappointing moment for Christian Harris, but he has had not only a fantastic season, but he's played very well tonight in the state championship.
A lot of penalties both ways. 15 penalties tonight. But Coach Hale had gotten Liberty to the state semis 3 years in a row in the teens. 17, 18, 19, something like that. Sansbury was an assistant and able to win last week against St. Ed's to get to the state championship game for the first time ever. Man, they look like they've been here all the time.
Yes, they have. Well, the program has been slowly building to this point at Liberty, but this is a really special class of football players.
Clock running. And now they stop it at 2:32.
Injury timeout.
Brett Hiltzbrand and Mike Robinson will continue the celebration with OHSAA Championship postgame immediately following the trophy presentations right here on Spectrum News 1, your home for high school sports.
Talking about this class of Patriots, there's 31 seniors in this it's the class of 2025, and most of them have started as juniors, and a lot of them played as sophomores. So it's an experienced group, tight-knit bunch, and obviously very talented.
Ball will be snapped, and there will be less than 2 minutes remaining in this fourth quarter. Struck. Little hesitation, then some acceleration, still on his feet. And he'll be pushed sideways, but they will pick up another first down. Flag on the play.
Struck is waving for the crowd to get up, but he's on the wrong sideline, Dave. And I think they might get number 55 Bailey Bird for a flag at the end of this play.
Dead ball. Unsportsmanlike conduct. Number 10 of the offense. 15 yards. First down.
All right. I owe Bailey Bird an apology. It's not him, Jonah Hoying, but those guys were coming over. There was about 5 people trying to bring down Jake Struck.
And so they picked up the first down, so now they can kneel. There's 1:39 remaining, a couple of snaps.
I think they're
now we get it all situated, and it will be, in fact, victory formation. Things getting a little chippy there.
Well, these are all competitors.
Yep.
But you know, one group that I don't know we've given the appropriate amount of respect to is the offensive line of Liberty. Yeah. And you go Keegan McBride, Adam Warnicki, Liam Hayward, Ed Nichols, and Bailey Bird have done yeoman's work, paving the way. I mean, when you look at these offensive numbers and the stats and what Leonard's done and Struck has done, that's because the offensive line is playing a very, very high level, both in the run and the pass game.
Yeah, they have over 427 yards of offense against a really good Moeller team, to your point. And now all they have to do is snap it one more time and then celebrate.
Well, I think the celebration has started.
As it should.
Yeah, absolutely. Well deserved.
And there it goes. Liberty, your Division I state champions in 2024. The first in program history, and really it was as dominating a performance as we've seen.
Well, when you talk about a dominating performance, you have to consider the opposition.
Yeah.
And Moeller was an absolute buzzsaw through the state of Ohio throughout the season. The expectations were coming into this game that Moeller was going to do more of that here tonight against Liberty. And it's just not how it turned out.
No, again, offense played well, defense played well, special teams played well. More penalties than they probably want, but you know what? First time on the big stage, they come away with the state championship. Let's head down to Mary Lee Melendez.
Coach, congratulations. I saw you hugging some of your players there after you got this win. What's going through your mind right now?
I'm so happy for these guys and so proud of them, and our coaching staff as well. These kids and these coaches have worked so hard, and it was a great night. We played really well, and I'm proud of them.
Massive plays by your defense, and then this offensive trio of Jake Struck and Christian Moulton, and then your quarterback Andrew Leonard throws for almost 300 yards. What can you say about them? Yeah,
I mean, not surprised. They're great players. They've been solid all year, and our defense has been excellent too. So, you know, this is Liberty football. We play really hard and play together, and that's what we did tonight. And we had a lot of guys make plays, and it was a special night.
First football state championship in school history. What does this mean to this program, and is this the standard now?
Yeah, I mean, it's awesome, obviously. And we've been close. We've been close to getting here a long time. And, you know, this program has been an excellent program for 20 years. I mean, Steve Hale established that with the foundation for 20 years, and we're just trying to build off of it and continue it.
You hadn't been to Canton before with this team. Was it everything you thought it would be?
Yeah, awesome. I mean, amazing event. First class, obviously, and this is special. Obviously, it's special.
Take it all in. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thanks, guys.
Dave.
All right, Mary Lee. Ryan, they hadn't been here before, but they sure played like they've been here before.
Yes, they did. Yes, they did. There is no lack of confidence. And, you know, I mentioned this earlier in the broadcast, and I think it was true. This is the most celebrating you've seen. I mean, every single time they made a play, it was as if they just knew they were supposed to make that play. It wasn't a great deal of, we're happy to be here and we're competing and we're hanging in there. These guys in blue did not expect to come in here and lose.
No.
Quite the opposite.
And you know what? Moeller, you mentioned it, 41 points. I'm not, having seen Liberty last week, I'm not surprised they won this game.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to sit here and tell you they were going to go and blow them out, but it doesn't surprise me. They're well coached. They're disciplined. They play good offense. They play good defense. You're doing a lot of football games when you do those things.
Absolutely. No, this was a team effort. It was a complete effort. And for Bert Bathiani and his team, they are extremely young. And this is a great program. You know, they were the last 3 years, Moeller was one play away in each of those years from getting to the state championship, losing to Springfield 3 in a row. Now they're here, and I think the Moeller tradition of being a part of championship weekend might just be back.
The other thing, no matter how many state championships a program wins, this is Liberty's first. These guys are part of the first ever state championship. There's something to that.
Absolutely, yeah. And you know, you mentioned Steve Hale, and I know how much.
We've talked to him so many times.
Oh, and I know how much Coach Sansbury is happy that he was able to do that, and he always gives credit. You know, I've been here for 16 years too, but this was Steve Hale who built this. I just took it over. Now he's taken it to a new height of a state championship, and that belongs to John Sansbury. But you know, there's a lot of continuity in the Liberty community.
Tonight's player of the game is brought to you by Orthopedic One, ranked #1 in Ohio, #3 in the nation for orthopedics. And our player of the game is number 6, and he was outstanding. Andrew Leonard, the quarterback, you see the numbers. The thing that it doesn't show, decision-making, poise, everything that goes into the other part of playing quarterback.
Yeah, just outstanding creativity. Right there was the best example of it, but he knew when the play broke down, he made a quick decision like you just mentioned, and then did something with it. There's no hesitation with Andrew Leonard.
There are your state champs in Division I for 2024, the Liberty Patriots. They earned it. And you know what? If you're going to win a state championship, beating the 3-time defending state champs in St. Ed's and Moeller in the semis and the championship, it's a pretty good way to go.
Sure, and you know, there's always, not always, but sometimes, you know, two teams will play each other in the semifinals or the regional finals, and you're like, these were the two best teams in the state. They just ran each other early. The path you just laid out of what Liberty did leaves no questions. And in the fashion that they did it to St. Ed's and now here, the scores and the defense, I don't think there's any question about who the best team in Division I in the state of Ohio is this year.
Think about the state championships that those programs have, being Ed's and Moeller, and those are the two you knocked off to get your first. There's something to that as well.
Sure.
Let's listen in as Bo Rugg presents the runner-up trophy to the Moeller Crusaders.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, please direct your attention to the field as we would like to recognize the 2024 OHSAA Division I state runner-up team from Cincinnati Archbishop Moeller High School. Joining Ohio High School Athletic Association Executive Director Doug Ute, our OHSAA directors Bo Rugg and Tim Streed, and OHSAA Board of Directors members Molly Fiesler and Paul Stone to present our Division I state runner-up trophy.
Coach Bathiani, I know you're real proud of this senior class. They've accomplished so much. You were real road warriors this year. 10 regular season games in 10 different stadiums. Your 4th straight trip to the Final Four. Your first time back in the finals since 2013. This senior class has amassed 48 wins. I know this is not the result you wanted, but I know the pride in the Moeller program will always be there. It gives me great pleasure on behalf of our member schools and our board of directors, and Paul Stone from our board of directors will present you with the runner-up trophy 2024. Congratulations.
All right, and again, this was an outstanding football team, without question. They 41 points a game, and tonight they just ran into a team that was better on this night.
Yep, and again, future is bright. They have Mr. Football returning, so I believe, along with a host of other players.
Right.
And they got some motivation now, I think, as we look into the eyes of head coach Bert Bathiani, who's a tremendous football coach and knows how to motivate his players.
And now the Liberty Patriots will be honored as the Division I state champions.
A historic run we are watching from Olentangy Liberty. In the last year, Just in the last year, we've given state championship trophies to the Patriots in ice hockey, in lacrosse, and tonight your first football state championship. All right, Coach Steve Hale, I know you're up there somewhere. Only 21 years ago, this school opened, and you set the foundation for this football program. And what you did, Coach Sansbury, you coached with them, you took the reins, and with these 31 seniors, tonight you're going home with the OHSAA Division I football state championship.
Every reason for Liberty to celebrate. You can tell there's some lacrosse players on there, by the way, that cheered the lacrosse state championship. Ryan Kavanaugh, final thought on this one.
Very complete performance from Liberty. They came out and did what no other team in school history was able to do, and that's bring home the trophy they're holding high in the air there. And just a really good football game and a great performance by both teams, but the Patriots in their winning effort.
Yeah, congratulations to Coach Sansbury and his Liberty Patriots. Tonight's final score, Liberty 28, Moeller 14. Tune in tomorrow for the Division VI championship game between Kirtland and Coldwater. Coverage begins at 10:15 right here on Spectrum News 1 and the Spectrum News app, your home for high school sports. For Ryan Kavanaugh, Mary Lee Melendez, producer Aaron Reinhardt, director Mike Simons, and the entire Spectrum News 1 crew, I'm Dave Bacon. Good night from Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium. Congratulations, the Liberty Patriots win their first state football title.